I love an Isekai king that can come back with its 13th episode or season 2 episode 1 and just boldly tell the love interest's father to say, "Hey, step aside, dad. I'm daddy now." Granted, they did it a little more wholesome than that with Ars and Licia, but it doesn't change the fact that they kind of had like an arranged marriage thing going on, but I guess it was never quite official. And the fact that Licia is like, "Hey, I'll gladly do this request. I'll go into the pits of hell for you, my boy, but marry me when this is all said and done." And he looks at her and says, "No, marry me right now." And the dad, who truly likes our MCRs, is like, "Nani?" Just is like ready to piss himself out of pure disbelief. But I guess a little drinking your sorrows away and realizing Ours is a good guy, he passes the torch of father to daddy over to our boy. Fantastic return. I have full live reactions over on Patreon. If you want to see my full link of thought to any of these Reincarnated as an Aristocrat episodes, it's over there exclusively. So, it's back. And I've been very excited. So, I quite enjoyed the summer anime season, but I do think the summer anime season was probably for me the one that had my interest the least out of the previous ones. And knowing that something like Aristocrat was coming back, which really surprised me because I was expecting, oh, it'd be an okay show, turned into a cast that was so full of personality and life. And really, with the first 12 episodes, it was introduction. Like, there was some big moments, of course. We had the father's death, and the dad was literally one of the best anime dads in recent memory. And the kind of passing of the torch, and ours having to do a lot of political things that really he thinks he's not suited for. And it's true. Like, ours by himself, the brilliant thing about ours as an MC in a show like this is that by himself, he's not overpowered. Collectively, with his retainers, he kind of is. He's a little broken, but it's not like it's guaranteed we're going to have success. But by him having the ability to appraise and find key special people and build an arsenal of utilities in the form of characters like Charlotte or Reeds or all these different people, he's really able to pick the best of the best, and the bonds that they build. The fact that an episode like this, it's subtle, but you have to give major props, a little round of applause. When ours is sitting at the table, we have Curran and, all the other bigwigs that are a part of this. They're making a plan. The plan, if we had our MC agree to it and his retainers agree to it, no one really would have second guessed it. We would have just said, yeah, it looks like they know what they're doing. But apparently the plan was asked, they point that out. And it's not just that, like, Charlotte pops up or this character. No, it's like collectively a handful of his people kind of all start talking, and we build this formation about what they can do. And that's what's brilliant, is that no one really believes in ours. A lot of them, they think he's just some kid, or like, okay, this kid got some domain. Okay, interesting, but why is he here? Like, clearly, and I can't blame them. If you are an adult in any situation, whether medieval fantasy times or you're at an office job, is some 8-year-old looking boy walks in and your leader is saying, hey, I like how he speaks, you're gonna have questions. Either your boss is attending Diddy parties, he's been on To Catch a Predator, or he's just an idiot. It's almost impossible to assume your boss knows what he's doing. And then somehow, Curran just is like, this boy knows what he's doing. And he avoids all of the minefields like To Catch a Predator. The fact that ours isn't the only one. Like, ours is the key that binds everyone together. But it's not just the art show, and that's what I loved about Season 1, and I love how they just carry into that with Episode 13 here. This show was produced as one 2-core season, just obviously split down the middle in terms of giving it time to cook in the oven. I love split cores. I wish most anime were split cores. One, because we'd have more episodes for everything, but two, a lot of the 2 cores that start to fall flat on their face because they ran for 24 consecutive episodes can't keep up with production. It's very rare you get a case where, like, you have a Tensura Season 3 where the second half is better produced than the first half. It doesn't happen too often. It's usually the reverse. So the idea of just having fun with this episode, getting reacquainted with the characters, like, immediately, this is how you know I really like a show. I am bad with names, but as soon as I saw characters, I was like, oh yeah, I completely remember. If I'm so bad with names that even if I like a series, the fact that I can be away from a show for 3 months and immediately I'm like, you don't even need to recap. I remember everything. This show made such an impact to me that it just all re-clicked. And I like this show a lot. I definitely think it's one of the strongest isekais that you can watch this year. Ours as an MC is perfect. And honestly, I love the idea that It's a subtle detail, but you have to appreciate. These two kissing, people are going to have their opinions, their arguments. Okay, should they reincarnate character, blah, blah, blah. They kept it wholesome. They did. They didn't focus on the kiss. We see it through shadows. But they didn't make anything sexual about it. Because at the end of the day, like, ours as a kid, like, yeah, he's going to have his little crush. He's going to do this, that, and the third. And mentally, this is where he's at. Even if he has his memories of his original life, he's a new person in a new body at this point, right? And the idea that they didn't go weird with it, they made it, like, sweet. It's just like, you just want to root these two on, and you're so happy. And that's why it's just like, well, Dad's a little shooketh by the whole concept. He quickly remembers that ours is a great guy, and yeah, there's no better option than this. Really, what ours should have said was, hey, we'll get married now, and once the war's over, we'll have a big-ass party. Like, that's just, like, the best of both worlds. But either way, sending Licia to do what needs to be done is the most suitable, because, like, obviously certain characters can't be sent. I mean, little racism, little discrimination, or maybe just not talented enough to do it. And we know ours would fumble the frickin' bag. Though I do like that subtle moment. So it's when, after they're debating at the table, ours stands up like maybe 5 or 6 seconds after, and he has confidence, but he still gets startled. He still gets nervous, because who the hell went in this situation? But just a little elbow, little nudging to say, hey, come on, boss, you got this. He's like, oh yeah, and he gets... I like the fact that rather than just making him super confident from the get-go, or because Dad's dead, now I have to be stone cold. Like, no, like, he feels like a human, and that's, like, the best part of following ours' journey, is that he feels like a person. Doesn't feel like an Isekai MC with this magical gimmick that guarantees him success. Like, the success is built around a collective group, and I like that even as great as the group is that we follow and the retainers that he's built, it's bigger than just him. It's the current stuff, it's the Empire stuff. All this different stuff is just so well put together, and it looks exactly as the first core did. It just reminded me exactly why I liked looking at the show, listening to the characters. The VA work was still on point, and even if you remove the whole marriage drop, like, this was a very satisfying episode. It didn't feel like it was trying to be like, oh, we need to drop this Sakuga or this explosion to keep people engaged. No, it's confident in the viewers who are watching it, and I can appreciate an Isekai that's not relying on gimmicks, because this show never has, and I really feel like it never will. Of course, those are my feelings. Let me know what you thought of the return of Reincarnated as an Aristocrat. Dropped yesterday, of course, doing it today, but we will be doing it on Sundays going forward, unless, I'm sick or I get busy or something. But you know how much I love this show. We always going to come back to it, let's be honest. So thoughts down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new around here. Of course, ring that bell. And like I mentioned, full live reactions over on Patreon. And hey, while you're over there, I'll just give you a video shout out. Alright, so today we got Buonake, Monica Luzuria, Kyle Kolachuk, Hunter D. Lupin, Charlie Cullings, Zeno, Michael Goodley, Yuki Alley, Aloon, and we also have Rogue Knight. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. You all have a good one.